Hello, everyone. A couple of days ago, I shared the first topic in our personality assessment series. Now we are going to delve into the granular level of the 5 super traits of personality. With these, I will cover one trait in each recording. I hope you gain valuable insight and discover something useful for learning and shaping your leadership style. So I am going into the slides just to show you um, the contents. Before going into the details levels, I'm going to give you a little bit recap what is personality that we shared in our earlier recording. Uh, Personality is something most people have an intuitive idea of personality that is not far away from how social scientists understand it. Our families are where we typically first learn that people have a degree of consistency in how they interact with others. And later, as we make friends, we interpret the people's behavior in terms of character, personal style, or habit. In later, we hear and see that leaders and co-workers succeed or have problems because of the way they work with others. Personality is formally defined as the set of habitual behaviors, cognitions, and emotional patterns that evolve from biological and environmental factors. Trait-based personality theories personality as the trait that predicts a person's behavior. On the other hand, more behavioral-based approach define personality through learning and habits. Nevertheless, most definitions and theories view personality as a relative stable configurations of preferences of how you like to live. So 5 super traits, we discussed it before. The first one is your emotional reactiveness. The second one is extroversion. Third one is openness to experience. Fourth one is agreeableness. And fifth is the consciousness. So these are the 5 super traits. So today we are going to cover only the emotional reactiveness. So emotional reactiveness traits. When you will find someone emotionally reactive, so these are the character you can see and consider. The first one is anxiety. Second one is anger, sadness, self-consciousness, self-indulgence, and vulnerability. So I am going into the details to make you understand what is meant by anxiety. Anxiety, uh, this scale measures the tendency to engage the fight or flight instincts in the brain. The fight or flight systems of the brain of anxious individual is more easily and more often engaged. Therefore, people who are high in anxiety often feel like something dangerous is about to happen. They may be afraid of specific situations or be just generally fearful. They feel tense, jittery, and nervous. Persons low in anxiety are generally calm and do not fear the same stimuli in the same way. Like example, if you assess someone and if you see the score is in the 15th percentile, which is low, the result indicates that you do not worry occasionally. You are likely to experience a sense of danger only when there are clear signs of threat to you. This is just in mere examples. Your score will be different. So based on the score, you can assess your position and at the anxiety level. So anger. This scale measures the tendency to feel angry, whether or not the person expresses annoyance and hostility depends on the individual level of agreeableness. Persons who score high in anger feel engaged when things do not go their way. They are sensitive about being treated fairly and feel resentful and bitter when they feel they are being cheated. Low scores do not get angry often or easily. Like example, if your score is in the 28th percentile, which is low, your result indicates that you experience anger from time to time when you are generally calm and even tempered. There are certain events and situations that make you angry. Sadness, the third characteristics of emotional reactiveness. This scale measures the tendency to feel sad, dejected, and discouraged. High scores lack energy and have difficulty initiating activities. Low scores on sadness tend to be free from these depressive feelings. Example, your score is the 7th percentile, which is very low. Your result indicates that you only rarely feel sad or discouraged. That means the if the percentile is high, then your character is completely reverse zone. Then the self-consciousness. This scale measures an individual's level of sensitivity to how and what other thinks of them. Self-conscious people concerned about rejections, ridicule cause them to feel shy and uncomfortable around others. They are easily embraced and often feel ashamed. Their fears that others will criticize or make fun of them are exaggerated and unrealistic, but their awkwardness and discomfort may make these fears a self-fulfilling prophecy. In contrast, low scores do not suffer from the mistaken impression that everyone is watching and judging them. Low scores do not feel nervous in social situations. Like example, your score is in the 10th percentile, which is very low. Your result indicates that you sometimes feel self-conscious about what others think of you, but but very often you are generally self-confident. So self-indulgence, the self-indulgence scale measures one's sense of strong desire and his ability to resist them. Individuals high on self-indulgence feel strong craving and urge that they have difficult resisting. They tend to be oriented toward short-term pleasures and reward rather than long-term consequences. Low scorers do not experience strong, irresistible craving and consequently do not find themselves tempered to overindulge. Example like if your score fall in 5th percentile, which is very low, your result indicates that you easily resist urges and desires. Things that tempt most people, for example, a favorite food while on a diet, have a little to no impact on you. So if the score is high, the same result could be reverse for you. Vulnerability. The vulnerability scale measures one's ability to feel calm and when experiencing the possibility of being attacked, exposed, or harmed in a way. High scores on vulnerability experience panic, confusion, and helplessness when under pressure, stress, or threat. Low scorers feel more stable, confident, and clear thinking when under pressure, stress, or threat. Threat. Example, your score is in the 9th percentile, which is very low. Your result indicates that you rarely feel vulnerable or threatened by others. When you do, you generally tend to remain in control to find an escape. So with all these six, not six sub super traits of the emotional reactiveness, in the scorecard, you see there is a overall score of the super trait of emotional reactiveness. Then you can see the sub traits of um, each category where you are standard. So this is what you can develop by yourself, or you can collect any ready tool for assess, and you can see where you are uh, in the perspective of emotional reactiveness trait. So overall, if I see your score falls in 5th percentile, which is very low, that is you can manage things very well. So if you plot in a spider net, the net will be look like, because when we assess ourselves, we see where we are stand compared to the team. So this is something, the color one is the cohort rating, that is your the team you work with, and uh, green one is basically is your rating. So you can compare yourself from the team. So how much fit you are with this team in terms of managing things together. You can get some clue from there. So this is just mere as an example to show you how this um, traits works, and what you can consider to assess itself in overall. So if I explain overall, the interpretation will be something like this. Emotional reactiveness, sometimes known as emotionality, emotional reactions, or neuroticism, refers to the tendency to experience negative feelings. Those who score high on emotional reactiveness often experience negative feelings such as anxiety, anger, depression. People high in emotional reactiveness are emotionally reactive. They respond emotionally to the events that would not affect most people, and their reaction tend to be more intense than average. They are more likely to see threat in situations, even everyday ones, and to escalate minor frustrations rapidly. Their negative emotion reaction tend to persist for long period of time, which means they are often behaving in response to danger. This style in emotional resolution can sometimes diminish someone higher on emotional reactiveness ability to think clearly and make decisions and cope effectively with stress. At the other end of the scale, individuals who score low in emotional reactiveness are less easily upset and are slower to react emotionally. They tend to become emotionally consistent and free from persistent negative feelings. However, they can sometimes even miss emotional signals from others. Freedom from negative feelings does not mean that low emotional reactiveness scores experience a lot of positive feelings. Frequency of positive emotion is a component of the extraversion super trait rather than emotional reactiveness, making frequency of positive emotions independent of emotional reactiveness. So this is something interpretations for your clear understanding of what does it mean when score is high, when score is low. So this is something the first topics of sub-super traits of personality assessment. So if you want to get more video in this area, let's be connected by subscribes our channel in YouTube, that is MG Quest. So stay tuned.